Hello guys, welcome to joint-based facial expression. Right now what I have is a basic joint setup of the head that people use a lot, and have done some weighting, if not quite perfect, but good enough. Of course you can use any other setup you are familiar with, so anything should be compatible. To start with joint-based facial expression, you want to duplicate the model, and then let's call this new one facial blend shape. Okay, now select that, and then the head geo, let's go to shape editor and then create a new blend shape. Let's call this head facial and shape. Okay, and let's call this one blend shape master. Okay, and turn it all the way on. Now because it's all the way on, that means that when I change the shape of this one, the new one I duplicated, the actual banding head also changes. Okay. The reason I create a blend shape and turn it all the way on is not because I'm gonna do blend shape based, but I'm gonna do joint based rigging on this blend shape. Okay, that decouples the original rig with joint based facial rig, so you can always swap or change or fix stuff with ease, because they're not essentially connected, are all piled on the same geometry but separated, and the communication will be through a very simple blend shape. Okay, that's why we do it here. It's also being called like local rig, okay, because it's doing that on a local space. Anyway, let's go ahead the head geo, the one we the actual one we banded with the joints, and then work on this blend shape. Now we can also add the original root joints to start really clean. Okay, so let's do the eyebrow first. Let me go select a edge loop that are wrapping around the eyebrow, and let's go modify, convert, and then polygon edge to curve. That will convert the polygon edge to curve, and because the history is there, when you drag the polygon edge, the curve changes, which is not what I want. So I'm gonna select the curve and then Alt Shift D to delete the history, and this one will be called CRV curve, DRV drive, and then left eyebrow. Okay, so this one will be used as a driver curve to drive my joint based rigging. Okay, now it's time to start creating joints. Let me go rigging, skeleton, create joints, holding down X to position one in the middle or the center of the word. Let's call this JT left eyebrow band 01. Okay, Control D twice, so I have 3 of those joints, and then I can also go create a couple of locators. And the name will be called lock left eyebrow band 0, no band at all, so let's no band anymore. Okay, so just locator left eyebrow 01, 02, 03, and then with nothing selected, Control G again to create a no group. Let's call it GRP left eyebrow 01. Just did 3 times. So we have 3 group, 3 locators, 3 joints. Let's put them into the right hierarchy. So the joint will be underneath the locator, locator will be underneath the joints. Locator will be underneath the group. Let's do the same thing for the other 2. Joint underneath locator, locator underneath group. So now if you open the hierarchy, it's group, locator joint. All three are the same structure. Alright. So let's see how we can move those structure to the curve, right? One of the things I do is grab the group and then the curve, and what you can do is do a constraint motion path, attach the motion path. Okay. When you're done with that and you drag the curve around, you see now the group or the entire hierarchy of eyebrow 01, this one, will move with it because it's a curve constraint. Another interesting thing is when you play the animation, it slides through there. Okay, now that's not what I want. What I want is just make it stay there at the beginning of the curve, no matter what happens. So what I'm going to do is grab the curve here, and then you see it's being controlled by a motion path. Let's right click on the U value and then delete the animation on it, and then if you change the U value yourself, you can slide it now to any position on the curve from 0 to 1. But what I want it to be is at the beginning of the curve. Another interesting thing is when you start changing the shape of the curve, you see it's moving with it and also rotates with it, which is more or less like a ribbon rig, but much easier to set up. Anyway, so now we have one of the joint position. Let's do the same thing for the other two. The second one will be also constrained using motion paths, and I'm gonna delete again the U value here, and then this time it's gonna be 0.5 to bring it to the middle, and then the third one will also be constrained, and you guess the value for that, which is 1. So now I have 3 joints all positioned across the curve, and no matter how I change the curve, they will follow and they will rotate. But the curve has all random vertices, so I'm gonna rebuild it. Select the curve and then go to the modeling, curves, and then rebuild. Let's use reset settings and change the number of spans to 1 and then apply. What it does now is just convert that curve into only 4 vertices, so it's easier to control the shape of the curve. Alright. Now the next step will be creating a holder weighting before I bind the 3 joints to the skin, because all I need the 3 joints to do is control the area of the eyebrow. But some joints have to take care of the weighting of other parts, and that's gonna be a joint over here in the center. So I'm gonna go rigging, skeleton, create joints, and holding down X to position one over there. Let's call this a JT. Facial band, facial weight holder. Okay, so this one is just being used to hold it. You can also put in band there, of course. And then let's grab all the joints here and then select the skin, do skin, band skin. Alright, now let's go to the pen skin weighting tool, select the holder and then flat it with white, and then you can go to individual joints and then give them some weighting. They're all going to control a portion of the eyebrow. Okay. Let me use subtraction to make the middle part all clean. Now subtraction is dangerous because you never know where it goes. You actually kind of know because they're just being distributed proportionally to other joints that does have some weighting on those vertices. So you kind of know actually, but it's just never safe to say that even it's doing that, it's gonna be good. So just use that to fix problem instead of relying on that to block out your weighting. Okay, so now I have the 3 joints, and they all have some weighting. The only way you know if the weighting is working is by actually moving them. For example, if I move this, I think that's controlling too much, so I'm gonna find my weight holder to get some of the weighting back. Okay. It's going up. I think we may need to control more. Okay, looking good. Let's do the same thing for the second one. So going up seems smooth enough. Maybe some more control there. Oh, sorry, not the. I'm printing that one instead, which is not good. This is the one I want to actually affect. I don't want it to be controlling too much at the bottom of the eyelid, because that's going to be controlled by eyelid joints. Drag that back, or pin that back actually. Alright, looking good. Let's do the last one. So those are just refining the weighting. I hate skin weighting, it's boring, really. So I actually go quite rough when I'm blocking it, because I never know if I need the eyelid to control more down there. So why I'm making this one quite perfect yet. Anyway, just rough blocking. Okay. You can select the curve and then do center pivot. That's not gonna destroy anything. Okay, that's totally safe. So now let's do some controls. For controller, I'm gonna go create nervous circle, right? And then this circle will be called AC, left eyebrow. And then I'm also gonna create a locator for it. It's gonna be lock AC left eyebrow, and then Control G, AC left eyebrow, and then maybe you can put in GRP in front of it. So now I have controller, locator, and GRP, right? Drag controller underneath locator, drag locator underneath GRP. So now I have a hierarchy just like the joint I had earlier, right? Joint, locator, group. It's just this time it's controller, locator, and group. Okay, now let me select the group and drag it up, and just position it in front of the eyebrow. I can then grab the controller and go select the vertices and then tweak the shape of the controller. For the shape, you want it to be easy to understand, not really too fancy, because it's hard for the animator to see stuff when you do too much fancy stuff. But anyway, just make sure that it looks like what it's supposed to be doing. So this is the eyebrow controller. What I want to do is when I drag the eyebrow controller up, the eyebrow go up. When I drag it down, the eyebrow go down. When I drag it in, the eyebrow goes in. When I drag it out, the eyebrow goes out. Let's just do the up and down for demonstration purpose. The way to do that is select the curve and then go to the shape editor and create a new blend shape. Let's call it left eyebrow blend shape, and then give it a new target, and this one will be up. For the up, I'm gonna grab the vertices and drag them up. We rotate them this way, and then you can refine it by dragging the middle ones up more and maybe the outside not that much. That way you're forming a curve for the eyebrow, and that's one of the benefits blend shape has that other doesn't. You may want to drag them outwards a little bit to maintain the volume, because blend shape way you can specifically control the shape instead of, you know, pure up and down, left and right. Okay, so we have up. Let's do down. So a new target, and then the down, it's not just going down, right? Also the outside doesn't go down too much. The middle part could be pushed down like a curve, and the inner part could be also quite low. Okay, and then that's the down. So we have up and down. To control it, I'm gonna use that driving key. So select the master, the eyebrow of our controller. Let's do a animation key stat, driving key stat. The driver will be my controller. The driven one will be the blend shape. So blend shape, right click on it and go select and look driven. Let's select both up and down, use translation Y and key it, and then drag translation Y up. Okay, and then drag the up, and then key it, and drag the translation Y all the way down, and then drag the down up, and then key it again. That way we have the eyebrow up and down all being controlled by this controller. One of the downside though is that there is a limitation of how far the eyebrow can go, which is generally a good thing if you think you know how far the animator want to push. But sometimes I think it's better for the animator to judge, am I pushing too much or not. Maybe sometimes they want to push more, but they can't because it doesn't move anymore. So to fix that, you can go graph editor, and then you can go select the blend shape, which is this one, and then you can go grab the keys and make them flat first, and then go curve pre-infinity cycle with offset, curve post-infinity cycle with offset. With those offset on, you can drag them further. Okay. Alright, so that's the overall control. In and out is the same thing, so I'm not gonna do that. Let's do smaller controllers. For smaller controllers, it is the same thing. I need to create a circle. Okay, let's call this AC, left eyebrow 0, 1. Okay, and duplicate it twice, so we have 3. And then we also create the locators. So this one is gonna be lock AC left eyebrow 0, 1 3 times, group, and then it's gonna be GRP, and then also 3 times, and then controller underneath locator, locator underneath group. Do the same thing for the other 2. And we got 3 controllers. I'll set it up and ready to go. For those, I'm just gonna match them with the joint I already have. So the 0, 1 will be matched to the joint here. So modify, match transformation, match all transform. Do the same thing for the second one, and the same thing for the third one. All right. And of course, the shape of the controller can be a curve, and you can also use nervous shapes. I use that in class, I believe. Let's grab them out and then select the vertices, and then drag them out, and then start shaping them to a proper size and location. So those are the individual controllers. And to make them actually control, you just need to select them and then shift select the locator of the joint. Now they are locator, okay, the joint's locator, which is this one actually. So that, and then the locator. Let's go to the window, node editor. Okay, and then you want to connect all the transformations. So scale. Right, all three things have to be there. Now you can use it to control that. And rotate, scale, everything. Okay, so you just need to do the same thing for the other parts. So that, and then the locator of the joint, and then connect, selection, rotation, scale. Same thing for the last one, which is this one here, and then the group. Translate, rotation, scale. All right, that is it. Oh, I think I connected to the wrong direction though, which happens sometimes. But yeah, that is it. That's probably all we did in class actually. But I did something else, like the coding stuff to make things automatic. So I will show that later. But for now, that's all you have to do. Okay. If you want to make the controller follow, for now, you can select the controller and just parent them underneath the big one here, and that will make them follow. Okay. So now you can control individual ones or the whole thing. Alright, that's all you have to do. So do it on the other side is the assignment. And I think I'm gonna do the coding part in a separate tutorial. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.